So now that you have confirmed your item type for both the salary and the TAL, you can return to the GFS Center and from there to enter your graduate student aid. In this scenario, our student is to be given a research assistantship for 20 hours a week, that's 50% FTE, in the Department of Biology, beginning in the winter term and continuing through spring. Funding of the assistantship will come from a department PTA 119-2826 100 PAHXX. Begin your entry on the Assistant Salary tab. And expand the skeleton. Notice this time the aid sequence begins with AST, that's short for the aid type for the assistantship. Again, use a meaningful identifier. Select an assistantship type. The most popular assistantship types have been placed at the top of the drop-down list, but look carefully and be sure that you select the intended type because this is not easily changed or updated after the fact. Your disbursement plan. We said in this case, this will be for winter and spring. And the hours per week will be 20, also known as a 50% assistantship. Notice the minimum pay period amount here. This is in gray. This is not a field that will be processed. It is here to remind you that you must enter at least that amount in the pay period amount field. So we're going to use $1,615 for the pay period amount in our example. GFS fills in start and end dates for you based on the quarter beginning and the end quarter dates. It also calculates the assistantship total by determining the number of pay periods that will be included in your range and multiplying that by the by the pay period amount. As you observed earlier in the fellowship entry examples, the pay org will be automatically populated once you have selected an item type. You will need to complete the details for the assistantship, specifically the item type information. And notice this time that the charge priority list has been completed for you. Again, if there are multiple lines returned, remember to read the item type description so that you select the correct one. Again, we can use copy to all terms to save ourselves a little entry time. I will mention here that the notes field, again, is optional, but it is very useful. And whatever you might put in there will remain with this aid line unless and until it is subsequently edited. Note the red button that says Calc Tal. In order to complete this, you need to signal GFS that you are ready. Click the button. It will add your assistantship type and it will calculate the tuition allowance. You should be aware that the system actually will save both the assistantship salary line that you entered and the assist-tal line that it generated for you. Both will be saved in draft status. Now we are on the assistantship tal tab, and you can again expand the line to see the details. There may be circumstances when you will need to make adjustments to the TAL amount. For example, if you anticipate that the student will move to TGR status, which has reduced tuition rate in the spring term, or if the student has tuition support from an outside source, you may reduce the amount. When you're satisfied that both the assistant salary and the assistant TAL lines are complete and ready for approval, select the checkbox under the action bar on either tab. And then click Save and Submit. Notice that GFS is submitting both the assistantship and the TAL lines simultaneously. And again, it tells you that it's saved successfully. Because the two lines are now pending approval, the total or the amounts for each of these has been added into the student's all aid summary. And again, the status is pending approval for both lines.